what's up YouTube? Good morning. Did a little research on some goldfish lately. In addition to some facts that I've already known and some experiences I've had with them, I wanted to share a little bit of information with you about goldfish. A few facts, some of the cool things about them, and just talk a little bit about goldfish today. An old staple fish in the hobby that's been around for over 2,000 years. Yep, you heard it. They've been kept for over 2,000 years as pets, and that's just one interesting fact. Let's get right in. I wanted to start this video with a little bit of story so you understand some personal experience I had with them so I can attest to this. It was in 2016 we moved to North Carolina from Pennsylvania. That was when Hurricane Matthew came through. When we got down here, we was able to get to the house and get everything unloaded. First thing I did was set up my 55-gallon tank, which by the way had an overstocked feeder goldfish in it. I don't use feeder goldfish for their purpose. I kept them. I don't feed my fish other fish. I give them high quality foods. I've never been into doing that. That has its own issues with introducing disease to your fish because feeder goldfish are not well taken care of and they're overpacked, like overly packed in tanks. I think anyone in the hobby has seen them when you went into any store. It's ridiculous. I don't do that. At any rate, getting back to the story, got everything set up, and then hurricane came through. We had to go stay with my in-laws. Once the hurricane came through, everything was flooded. We could not get back to the house. It was flooded. The roads were shut down, and so we hung out there at my in-laws for a little bit, and then we waited till we could get to the house. And when I got there, I did whatever I could do for the fish because out in the country, it was way out in the country, there was nothing around. Well, we were the first to lose power and we were the last to get it on. So, and that was with everywhere, even my in-laws' house. So we had to leave and go down to my sister-in-law's in West Palm Beach, Florida. But before I went, I hooked up, I had two tanks, the 55-gallon overstocked goldfish tank, and then I had a 29-gallon with two fancy goldfish in there, Arandas, and a couple Cory cats. I knew the batteries wouldn't last forever, but I hooked up two emergency backup battery pumps with an air stone, and I ran that. And we had to leave. We were running out of food, we were running out of everything. We just had to go. Fast forward a week later, a week and a day, we get back to our house, and the first thing I wanted to do was check on my fish to see how they were doing. Well, when I walked up through the carport to go in the house, I thought I walked in like a cobweb. And I looked down, it was a bunch of fleas crawling up my legs. It was just because of all the water that was laying around for all them days brings all the bugs and insects out of the water. And so I brushed them off and I went inside, and because of the humidity, because it was warm too, because of the humidity, I walked into the house and the walls were just dripping with, condensation. Not dripping, but you can see there was clear. The walls were kind of sticky, and you could see where water was running down them. And when you walk into the house, right in the living room on the wall was my 55-gallon goldfish tank. I was very curious to see how they did. I was worried about it. I walk in, and much to my surprise, every one of those goldfish were still alive. Every freaking one of them. I was like, sweet, that's amazing. How did they go that long without any filtration, any water movement? Especially in an overstocked 55-gallon goldfish tank. The ammonia building up in that would have been crazy. But then I went back to the bedroom and I checked the 29-gallon tank, and unfortunately those guys did die. I believe it's a smaller tank. The ammonia and the nitrites are going to build up in that tank a lot quicker, but unfortunately all those guys had passed, and you can imagine how stinky that might have been. So I had to hurry up and clean that up. And then I went ahead and did a nice good water change on the 55-gallon goldfish tank, and I fed them a little bit. I'm not worried about feeding them. Goldfish can go weeks without eating. Any fish can go weeks without eating, really. And it's actually good for them because it helps clean their digestive system out. So, but after we got all settled, here this is 6 years later, you know what I mean, and we've moved since then, and we're in a place that has a little bit more resources and a lot more better electric grids and such like that, bigger city. And but I always wondered, how did those goldfish survive in that 55-gallon tank, overstocked, with no oxygen exchange at the surface of the water, no filtration, nothing? You know, the fact that they weren't eating is a good thing, because the less you eat in a situation like that was better. And that was the last thing. I wasn't even worried about feeding the fish. They were cool. They would be fine. But I did some research and I talked to some people as the years went on. And, you know, in a YouTube Fish Fam, I talked to everybody. But I go over and I like to watch Dan at Everyday Fish Keeping. He's a very knowledgeable guy, and he told me about a documentary or video they did about goldfish and how truly special they are. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet because I forgot the name of it, but I've done my own research. And what I found out about goldfish, they have many, many different cool things about them that make them truly special. And one of which I'll start with, if you didn't know, and this is the sole reason why they survived that situation, is goldfish have adapted over the years and actually have the ability, like, you know, like you, me, your dog, your pets. If we have a lack of oxygen, we're going to die. Because of that, you're suffocating. Obviously, you can't breathe, and lactic acid builds up, and that just kind of builds in your body. You can't get rid of it. Goldfish have found a way around this. And what they can do is they can take the carbohydrates in their body and they can convert that over to alcohol. And alcohol is much easier to excrete and get rid of out of their gills. And that's how they're able to survive in low to no oxygen environments. That's also why they make good fish for ponds, like, because when they ice over, plus the fact that they can live in cold water, they're a cold water fish. And because when the ponds ice over in wintertime, they go down there, you got little to no oxygen gas exchange, getting the gas out and getting the oxygen in the tank, right? That's why we do agitation at the surface of our aquariums for oxygen movement, and flow is always good for everything, like plants and such. The more the flow you have, the plants get more nutrients and all that stuff. But the fact that they have the ability to do that is amazing to me. I think it's really cool. Nature always finds a way. Some fish truly stick out more than others. Another cool thing about goldfish is, I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, they've been kept for over 2,000 years as pets. They've been around a long time, and they used to be very revered in China. Chinese people love them, and they have the ability to. There might be some other fish that do this, I'm not sure, but they do have the ability to recognize the different facial features of their owners. They can recognize, like me versus my wife, when they come in here and look at them, they know the difference. They have great personalities. The goldfish is my wife's favorite fish because of that. She loves how they are, and she loves that they come in and they see you. I know a lot of fish do that, but these guys truly come up and they look like little dogs. They say the same thing about Oscars, but an Oscar, they're happy to see you because they think you're going to get food. The goldfish is the same way. That's why they're coming up to see you too. They know it's time to eat, All these fish love to eat. Goldfish have 2 goals in life: eat and poop, and then eat and poop. They are one of the dirtiest fish you can keep, and they'll fit anything they can fit in their mouth. And I know a lot of fish are like that too, but I have fish here that'll eat and stop because they're full. Goldfish are true gluttons. Like my buddy Oscar's over here, cool. They're like little water dogs too. We like them. And probably one of my most favorite fish is the Oscar. But they see like that blurry blob when they come. They cannot recognize and distinguish facial features like goldfish can. Not only do the goldfish come in a lot of different varieties and colors, they're pretty, and they got the long flowing fancy fins, and the personalities. They can actually see more colors than humans can. They can actually hear sounds, and they can recognize their different owners, which I found amazing. There's a lot of different facts I can go into. If you guys want me to, you can leave the comments below, and I can actually make a full video all about goldfish facts, but I'm not going to do that in this video because I don't have time. And the actual point of this video is to tell you that story of what happened to me, that I personally experienced, the fact that they can convert their carbohydrates to alcohol so they can excrete it better and live in those low to no oxygen environments. And they're just truly tanks. And I have one more story about goldfish. And to do that, I have to show you Hawk over here. This is Hawk. This is my calico fancy goldfish. This is silver fox. He's my other little buddy. But this guy right here was on his deathbed. He had multiple diseases. It came out of nowhere. He was in a 75-gallon tank with Silver Fox over there, and that's all that was in that tank. And Mr. Pleco here is taking up all the room, but this is another thing I like to goldfish. They don't care about nothing. They just derp around the tanks, do their thing with no care in the world. They don't worry about nothing. They just have fun. I love them a lot. But anyways, this guy had multiple issues. He had cloudy eye. He had, I think he had bloat. He has a little bit of swim bladder right now. You've probably seen in my videos in the past, flipping upside down and stuff, but he just keeps on trucking. These guys are tanks. Goldfish are truly hardy tanks. They are hardy fish. But anyway, he was on his deathbed. I pulled him out. I put him in a 10-gallon quarantine tank. He just laid at the bottom of it, and I hit him with the Med Trios. I hit him with the API General Cure, erythromycin, and ICX, and I let him soak in that a while, right? I did it by the instructions. When that was done, I did a nice big water change, and then I hit him with the Fritz Trio, which is the Fritz Paracleanse, Fritz Maricin, and ICX. I let him soak in that for a week. After that was done, I did a nice big water change, and I added salt in there. For the next month, he just chilled in the salt. Chilled in the salt in the 10-gallon tank. Now, I kind of lied to you a little bit. I did hit him with the API Med Trio at first, and I did everything I said I did, but with the Fritz version, I ran out of some of the meds, and I was unable to really complete that correctly. So I did do the water change and finished up with salt. And as you can see today, he came back from the dead, and he's swimming around, and he's been like this for months and months and months. And you can see he's just swimming around the tank just fine, having a good time. Now he has lost sight in his left eye. I mean, look at these guys. Look how friendly, look how cute they are. But he's doing great. And that is just another testament of how hardy these goldfish are. They're truly amazing fish. And when I first started in the hobby, like everybody else, I got goldfish, right? And I had them over the years. I kind of got bored with them, and I started getting into other fish. Most of us fish keepers do that. That's why we end up with multiple tanks. We enjoy the hobby, but we also like all these fish, and we want to keep them all. So now I got the Oscars, I got the African cichlids, I got the live bears, the tiger barbs, the betas, the imbunas, the goldfish, the plecos, the pictus cats, tetras, gouramis, you name it. Blood parrots. Angelfish, right? Because you want to try something different. The goldfish is the humdrum staple of the hobby, kind of like the Hulk Hogan of wrestling, right? That's the goldfish is the Hulk Hogan and the icon of fish keeping. And that's just the way it is. I don't care what you say. But I kind of got bored with it, tried the other things, but I always still had a couple goldfish, but I came back around to it again, and I got more goldfish again, and that is another fish I'll probably always keep. And they're truly amazing. Like I said, I'm not going to go into everything that truly makes them special, but they really are a truly special fish. So when you go to the store and you see a goldfish, like, goldfish, and by all means you do what you want. Obviously, it's your life, but I'm just saying, when you look at a goldfish next time, you might want to do a little research because they're a lot more special than you think. So maybe you can check this video out and see it. Hopefully it helps you. Anybody that likes goldfish, leave a comment below. Let me think with this video. I just want to throw out some quick facts on them, and if you didn't know, really, really cool. Really, really impressed with goldfish. So, but that's it. Everybody have a good week. I'm off the next few days. I took some time off. My mom's down here visiting, and we're going to go do some stuff and have some fun. So, thanks again, guys. You have a good week. Be safe, and